This is a channeled message from the angels where they are answering our questions about La Palma and giving us a prayer for our own rising. Thanks for coming back to my channel, you guys. If this is your first time here, I am Ann Tucker. I'm a trance channel. I channel from the angelic realm. That means I raise my awareness up as high as I can go, and then a little higher, and the messages start to come through. And I transcribe them, and I share them here with you guys on YouTube. And like I said, today's message is about La Palma. So I had several questions, people asking about La Palma, and the angels give us some information about that, and they talk about the ascension in general. And then they end with a beautiful prayer that I hope you will use as well. I've got a new background. I'm in a new spot. I moved, so I'm really sorry I didn't post a video for you guys last Friday. My move ended up taking 2 days instead of one, and I wasn't able to do a video. So anyways, I bought a house. I'm remodeling the house, and it's under construction, so I'm here using this office temporarily. So this will be my temporary background, so we'll enjoy it while it lasts, and then in a couple months, I'll be in my new place. So, but anyway, so thanks very much for joining me again, and I'm going to go ahead and launch into the message.
So for our message today was a hard message, to be honest, because I was getting some questions from people about La Palma, which is, for those of you who haven't been watching what's going on in La Palma, there is an island off the coast of Spain that has a volcano on it right now that's erupting. And there were, several years ago, there was a couple of scientists, I think, who did a report saying that if these volcanoes erupted, there could be a chain of volcanoes that go off there. And if it happens, a chunk of that island could fall into the ocean, creating a tsunami that hits the East Coast. And you guys know that pretty much all of the messaging I've gotten it has always sounded like it's the West Coast that's going to be hit by the tsunami. That has been, I got the thing about in terms of the channeling, what we heard was this earth rift and in the middle of the Indian Ocean, and then loads of dreams came in, including my own dreams about waves hitting. And most of the people that provided dreams were either West Coast. There was people who were actually, some of you in the UK had dreams about waves hitting the West Coast. So it's pretty much always been the West Coast. But there have recently surfaced some people who have had specific dreams about the East Coast. And I double checked it. I actually sent one over to Michael Sheridan, and yep, this is a prophetic dream. And there was a dream about a wave hitting the East Coast. So there's this thing with and the dream specifically sounded it was an island with a chunk falling off into the ocean. So anyways, I've got a few questions. Morgan, you sent me a question. A few other people sent me questions like, hey, should we be worried on the East Coast? And I honestly, it was really hard to ask that question, because I think I'm with you guys. I want good news. How about some good news? I want good news. And this idea that, we talked about, the economy being in trouble, the economy is going to be a major thing. I am certain of that. The economy, and you already see the pieces of what they're talking about already starting to unfold. And so I really think the economy is going to be a major thing. I think that we do have this earthquake coming. I think we have waves could be metaphoric, right? But so many people have seen waves as water, including myself. And so now they're talking about the East Coast. So could this be a metaphor or not? So anyway, so I channeled on it and got some information from the angels, which I'm happy to share with you guys. And like I said, not my favorite question to ask, because it's hard. It's hard talking about the bad stuff that might happen. And I know that, especially my heart just really goes out to the people who sent me questions, because I can feel that they live on the East Coast and there's fear there. And I'm so sorry about that. And I just wish it wasn't the case. And so I feel bad to be channeling it. The last thing I want to do is spread more fear. So I want to share the message if it's constructive and if it's helpful, and to know that the goal in all of this is to, our responsibility is to try to find a space where we can be out of fear, where we have faith and we trust in things happening the way they're supposed to. And one thing I can tell you guys is, and this is a true thing, just going through the experience of me, recently buying this house. And it's just, for me, it's a perfect illustration of the fact that your experience doesn't have to be everyone's experience, that the whole world can be going through something difficult. And that doesn't mean that you are going to have that same experience. That when I went to buy my house, I'm in the Seattle market. The market here has been insanely crazy, prices jumping, and houses going for, no joke, $100,000 over asking price, like, and multiple bids, and insanity, right? That people just couldn't buy a house. And same thing with trying to get people to do a renovation. Like, I know a lot of people who bought houses that they would like to do a project on, and they're just sitting because they can't find anyone to work on it. And the angels told me, hey, go for it. We've got your back. It's going to be fine. Just do it. Just make the move. We're going to be behind you. We're going to support you through all of this. And sure enough, I got a house. I got it. Not only was I the only bidder, I got it for way below the asking price, which in this market is unheard of, right? How did that happen? And then immediately was able to get a wonderful contractor to help me, who was there starting work the day I closed on the house. So my experience is not the experience that is happening generally. And I think that is the case for, like, the more that we can be out of fear, the more that we can trust. And that's, I think, as we're talking about some of these hard questions, the thing to remember is, yeah, there might be hard stuff going on in the world, but that hard stuff doesn't have to be your experience. And I think that is the message of hope and faith and trust and not fear that I would like to spread, that I would like to share. And I want all of us to feel that way, to feel like we're held, to feel like we're supported, to feel like we're going to be okay, no matter what happens. And to know that all the stuff that's coming it is for our greater good as a species, as humanity, right? It's for all of us to lift up, that we have to make it through these next couple of years. So, okay. So let me tell you what they say. If you guys have thoughts or questions, like, share them with me. Let me know what's going on with you. I want to know, and let's have a dialogue about this, because it's some of it is hard stuff. And I know that I mean, the other piece I want to add to that is, if you're not feeling like I share that story about, yeah, things are going, like, this move went well for me, and don't feel bad if that's not happening for you. Like, don't feel bad if you are feeling like you're being crunched in a vice right now. Like, things are crazy right now. They're trying to squeeze us and push out everything that's not in alignment with our rising. They're trying to squeeze it out of us. So if you feel like a tube of toothpaste that's being squozen, you are not alone. And know that that doesn't mean that you're not aligned. It means that they're just doing everything they can to help you right now to take advantage of this period of massive acceleration in our healing. Hey, Wendy, great to see you. So, okay, so let's dig into the message. So here's what they say. So like, for those of you that are just joining, I asked the angel specifically about the La Palma, the volcano that's going off right now, that's in Spain, at the request of several people in the group. And what they say is, the La Palma earthquake and volcano is a scenario we seek to uncover. There are happenings beneath. The overture, the instigation has started. This reality will come into being, or to beginning. It is starting. How we're supervising this scenario, we cannot reveal. There are circumstances yet unveiling which are not forgotten, but not deployed, not happening how they were anticipated. So this is an interesting statement, what they're saying about the La Palma volcano. And I think to understand what they're getting at here, it's super important to understand some of the other messages they've given us about earth changes. What they have said is that the earth is on her own path. The earth is going through her own transition. And just in the same way that they try to create opportunities for healing for us, but that at the end of the day, we are the ones that make the choice. We decide when we're going to take action. We decide when we're going to let those lessons sink in, or when we're going to change our beliefs, right? That's up to us. And the earth is her own entity. So they may create circumstances to try to help her to evolve, but at the end of the day, the earth chooses. So where the earth erupts, where things are coming up, the angels are in there. Like they have said, they basically described that they are holding the energy, trying to help it move up. So they're in there helping, but that it's the earth who chooses. So they can see, and the way their angels have described the way that their vision is, it's like they see like this sort of fractal possibilities in future, because they don't have time. They see all these different possibilities and outcomes, and like in every possible dimension, in every possible reality. It's like if you look through the eyes of a bee or a fly, if you've ever seen a fly's eye, it has all these little frames, and that's kind of how I think how angels see, how it's like they see a gazillion possibilities at once, and the ones that are closest into now are the most likely, right? But they flip and turn all the time. So, and you're saying, I'm curious, as I've heard we may go offline for a while, either lockdown or no power or services. I'm wondering if this is expected this year. And yes, I've got a couple messages I channeled about a blackout as well as they said that we may lose our connection for a while. Two separate things. One is like, I think, an electrical blackout. The other one is a spiritual blackout. And that the last, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 messages ago. Do you guys remember? I am not good with time, but a couple messages ago, I'll see if I can find it later and I'll post it in the comments. There's a link to a message that's all about how we may lose our connection for a short while and why that is. And it's nothing to fear, nothing to be worried about. Okay, so the message that they're saying here, understanding that there's lots of different possibilities, that the earth is the one that chooses how she will evolve. They're saying that they're saying that this La Palma thing, it could happen, it might not happen, that the earth is in the driver's seat, that there is energy underneath that needs to come up, that there's stuff evolving, but where exactly is it going to pop out? They're saying, yeah, that could happen. It could happen. They're saying we're supervising this scenario, but they can't reveal exactly how. And I don't think that's because it's secret. I think that's because maybe there's pieces of it that we can't understand, or we won't understand, or it's too hard to come through in this one message. I don't get the sense that it's a thing that it's like, cloak and dagger stuff. I think it's that if they're saying like, okay, this is not the message for here and now. But they are saying there's some things unexpected about this. There are circumstances yet unveiling which are not forgotten, but not deployed, not happening how they were anticipated. So some of the things the angels thought were going to happen it's not quite unfolding exactly like they thought it would. They're going on to say, we are counting on yourselves to become more of what you are. Predisposed to elevation, you will rise and feel the comeuppance. This scenario of evacuation, some might feel is happening now. We feel it will come about when all happenings succumb to the torrent onslaught of what will be revealed. So, and this is kind of the theme of the message going from here, is they're really saying like they are coming back to us and saying, like, all of this right now, like everything that we are going through is trying to help us to move up. The earth is going through her elevation, and we are also going through our own elevation. And in terms of how we are going to cope with what's going on with earth, is they're counting on us to be more of what we are. They're saying, hey, we can help you. We want to help you get through this, but we got to have all the people. We want humanity to rise, and they're counting on us to help. And not to put too much pressure on us, because they say any which way it goes, we're fine. But they're saying this is important. Our rising is important here. And we are predisposed to elevation. So it's like we came in, this was the agenda. We are like, everything in us is sort of aligned with this moving forward. And that we might even feel this comeuppance. They're saying this scenario of evacuation, so La Palma as a scenario of evacuation, some might feel is happening now. So some feel they're pointing it to saying like, oh my gosh, look at La Palma, that's going to happen. And a lot of people are in fear right now. And by the way, there was recently some of the people on YouTube are saying that there's like more volcanoes going off. I understand that is not true. That it's not that it's there's not as much fear about that. We don't need to be in fear at the moment about La Palma. Like there was some report saying that there's the one thing going off, and then there's several others, when in fact that's just new points that the government has put up monitoring stations to watch what's going on. That's all that's happening. So they're saying this scenario of evacuation, some might feel is happening now. We feel it will come about when all happenings succumb to the torrent onslaught of what would be revealed. So they're saying basically, if this is going to happen, they think it'll happen kind of with everything. That is kind of like, okay, if this could be part of the larger system that happens. So that is possible. But like I said, they also said that there's stuff that are happening not exactly as they anticipated, because this is up to the earth. The earth chooses how she will heal herself. So I think they're really trying to direct our focus away from worrying about the individual possibilities and focus back in on ourselves and what we can do for ourselves and how we can take care of ourselves. And they say here, and they kind of take the gloves off here, and they really talk about more specifically what might come. They say, not all are lost, but some. However, more than is anticipated. And they are talking about lives lost. They're saying not all are lost, but some, however, more than anticipated. This will arrive if all stalls as it is now. We herald the change within you. Rise, and it becomes unnecessary. The rising instigation of this effort will bring along yourselves, but when your achievement is readied and you are spoken, done, commenced, arrived, then naught shall occur. So there is definitely there's definitely a lot of this that falls on our shoulders in terms of humanity, is how many of us are really willing and ready to sort of step into this new vibration. And they're saying that shift can make a difference in terms of how people are affected by what's coming. And they're not saying that what's coming isn't going to happen. They're saying that more of us will come through it if we are in a place where we are embracing the change, embracing our own rising. Okay, so they go on to say, there are happenings beneath the shelf of this arrival. It has risen between and among the plates of her crust and mantle. There is effort within, energy housed there, mid-suspended, mid-effort, mixed with now happening ejection. There is some transfer of this reality upwards, but not all arrives. More is yet contained, and energy drives her within. More must surface. So they're saying, yep, there's still junk down there in the earth. There's still hurt and anger and all the stuff that has to be released. And so they're saying it's kind of in, like right now, there's some stuff coming up, and they're saying that stuff that's coming up is part of it, but there's more there yet, and there's more to come. They go on to say, there will be time amongst yourselves to leave, to abandon this plane, to leave it now and forevermore. There will be a moment of rest and calling homeward, upward into the heavens, upward. You'll feel the pull, but not all arrive home now. Some stay behind and live here and be in this manner spoken for, be in this place of ascendance, and properly installed, they may rise with her. Many may stay. We may ask them now, should they wish to depart. Many will offer themselves to transfer onward, to move off from here on. So it gets to the nut of it, the meat of it right here, is where they're saying, okay, yeah, there will be many who are ready to say, okay, moving on to the next place. And we've talked about what that looks like. What that means is that this earth plane will no longer be a 3D reality earth plane. This will no longer be a karmic school. But there are many people who are going to choose to stay, that feel like they still have a lot to benefit from in terms of their own growth, to stay in that karmic construct. That there's a lot of people that say, you know what, I'm not done with it yet. My soul still has a lot to learn here. And there is no judgment in that whatsoever. It's literally how does somebody feel that they are most going to benefit? Are they going to benefit most from them? And the karmic school the school of hard knocks, that is a really good way to grow. It's helped us all. All of us here have benefited from it. So they've created another karmic school somewhere else in another 3D reality, where all of these people, it's not Earth, but the people who want to stay in that school will exit and go to that other place. And they've said in previous channelings, they said that some people will exit now or in this period. Some people will live out their life here and then exit. So that doesn't mean like everybody's going to go now. Everybody who's not staying is going to exit immediately. There may be some people who live out their life and then exit and don't come back. So when they say that, exit forevermore, is that they're not coming. If they're going to stay in that reality, they can't come back here. So, but they say many like that who would wish to stay will stay, but they need to be moved into that. All of us need to be into this, ready for this opening, ready for this growth, ready to be at this new vibration. So, so that many may stay. And they say, in terms of the people who want to leave, and in terms of everybody, all of humanity, they say, we may ask them now, should they wish to depart? So everybody gets to choose. Like, this is an individual choice at the higher self level. Does that person's higher self feel like they benefit most from moving on to the other three, to staying in this 3D reality, or do they benefit most from being here and being part of what's coming onward, coming forward, the new humanity, that what we're going to become? Is that the best situation for them? So then many will offer themselves to transfer onward, to move off from here on. But I love this part. They say in there, that some of us will, some stay behind and live here and be here in this manner spoken for, be in this place of ascendance, and properly installed, they rise with her. So that is going to be, lots of us are going to stay. So here's where they are, I think, most concerned, this next paragraph. And you're saying, wow, sounds like it would be better to shift higher now. Yes. I totally agree. It'd be way better to in terms of just trying to get your vibration as high as you possibly can. I absolutely agree. And they say, but more will rise if it is spoken, if it is known where you are now. More will come and align upward and be who we wish to see in all. The ones who can change the destiny of mankind, who can live a life of import, living on in this plane of existence, but harboring more light now. Yes, the terribly forceful events may rise, but fear not your housing to depart. Fear not what comes. You are well always. You are taken for ourselves and lifted upward to become more of what is now ensconced in your heart, your chest. So they really are saying that they want to talk about this, because they say that the more that it's out there, the more that people know what's going on and where we are and what the stakes are, the more people will be open, right? The more people will think about it, will become aware, will start looking at themselves. They're saying like, hey, let's yes, communicate this, share this, help people to start on this path of growth. And I think that's really what's required. Like it's really being on the path of growth. And so many people, I know you guys have known them, people who are unwilling to look at themselves, right? When they have, and I've had conversations with people where they've said, oh, this person's to blame and this is happening to me and all these things are, my life stinks, and I might say, well, have you ever thought about that thing that you're playing out? Like, where does that sit in you? Like, where is that something you believe about yourself? And sometimes they'll sit with it and go, that's I hadn't thought about it that way. And sometimes they'll push back and say, nope, it's that person, it's not me, and when they're really locked in and pushing, you cannot change their mind, right? Like, I know maybe you've tried, but I have found that you cannot, like they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So, but the more that I think this idea is out there, that we are in this position and we see the changes in the world and we feel it. I think deep down at the soul level, a lot of us feel it, that this is go time. Things count right now. And so they're saying, the more that the message is out there, that people might listen and they might consider it and they might start looking at themselves in more depth and with more openness and more receptivity to their own possible growth, and looking at maybe what their beliefs are, in terms of beliefs about themselves and what's possible and all of those things. And you're saying events happening for you, not to you. I think that's like a mantra. Like, we should all get that like tattooed right here on our foreheads. I totally agree. So more will rise if it is spoken, if it is known where you are now. More will become aligned and upward. And it's like, then this is really about the destiny of mankind. This really is about our rising as it's, humanity, species, all of us moving upward. So it's a big deal, a very big deal. So this next part I feel is important. They're saying, fear not what comes. You are well always. And that is regardless. If somebody chooses to stay or someone chooses to go, they say, fear not, you are well always. Don't worry about like your loved ones. Don't worry about people you care about. Everyone is going to be held. And I love how they describe it earlier. They describe it, it's at the end here, but they basically are saying that it's going to be an experience of calm. Like, even if people choose to go and it's in a natural disaster of sorts, they describe it as a calm and a rising, that it won't be awful, scary, painful. It'll be a calm and a rising, and that everybody is being held and cared for. That is, whether they choose to stay or whether they choose to move on. Like, they're taking such good care of us. And you're saying the energy is rising. Oops, I can't get the second part of that. The energy is rising, lifting. Yes, it really is. Like, we're in it right now. Absolutely. So they're saying, so here is this next part, because they're talking about, they're very sympathetic to maybe the concerns we have about La Palma. They're saying, your heaving brow, it bends to the earth and gives this prayer. We rise, we all do calm the seas. So we rise, we do calm the seas. They rise within our hearts. We muster the change within ourselves and move this light within us. And this is the prayer they're asking us to make for humanity, for all of us. And I think it is taking the energy saying, okay, the seas are supposed to rise and help us to lift up. Well, can we take that within our own hearts and rise within our own hearts? So if you guys are willing, I will go ahead and repeat this. And if you could repeat it with me, and we can make this a prayer together on behalf of humanity. And I'll start now. So if you're willing to do this with me, that brings your energy to it and makes it much more powerful. So I'll start now. So if you can read this with me, it says, we rise, we all, we do calm the seas. They rise within our hearts. We muster the change within ourselves and move this light within us. So thank you. Thank you for doing that with me. And Wendy is saying, I love this. It's the biggest decision we can make. Do we believe the universe supports us, or is it out to get us? Oh my gosh. Yes, Wendy. I'm so glad you said that. That is so true. And I think there's so many people that don't feel supported, that worry that because they feel that separation, they can't hear their guides, or they worry about like, how can I be supported if things in my life are so hard? And they don't understand that things are so hard because they are supported, right? That source and their guides are trying so hard to help them grow right now, to take advantage of this time and to move into the new energy. But yeah, I'm so glad you said that. And you're saying, yes, we are loved and supported through it all. Yes, we are. So here the angels say, the last part here, they say, receive our hearts now open, fold within our arms the bearing of this planetary exodus, and be within the calm embrace we hold. Fear not. We carry well all that pass, and you yourselves will wake a new dawn, a new rising in the self, and believe the time has come. Be well. And I think this is my favorite paragraph of the whole thing. And I'm going to repeat it now because I think it's a really important one. They're saying, receive our hearts now open, fold within our arms the bearing of this planetary exodus, and be within the calm embrace we hold. So they're really saying, like, wherever people are going, whether people are exiting the planet, they're saying it is like the way they describe it here is a calm embrace, right? This is not panic. This is not, terrifying. This is not fear. This is like they literally, I just get this image of the angels coming down and just gathering everybody up in safety. And right, this is a planetary exodus and being held within this calm embrace for the people who do exit at this point. Their hearts are open. They're folded in the arms of the angels. They say, fear not. And then they go on to say, we carry well all that pass. So anybody that that you're worried about, they say, they say, we've got them, right? The angels have them. And they say, you yourselves will wake a new dawn, that this is not the end, right? That we are going to wake to see a new dawn. They say a new rising in the self, and believe the time has come. So there are good things on the horizon. So yeah, this is tough stuff, but they have given us some messages about what's coming, and it is beautiful, right? What's coming is amazing. There's one woman that I think I need to reach out and find her again. She posted, and she has been having, she's lucky. She's been having dreams of the new reality. And she's been having these dreams since she was like 5 or 6. And all of her dreams are about the amazing things that are coming. And reading the bit that she posted was so wonderful. I'm going to track her down. As a matter of fact, if you are her and you're hearing this, I'm going to reach out to you because I feel like we could all use a little injection of that kind of hope and excitement right now with some of these harder messages that come through. But there are really good things on the horizon, and we just need to have that faith that just in the same way that I have felt held through this crazy real estate purchase and now a remodel. And keep in mind, I'm doing this remodel as we're hearing like all this crazy stuff might be coming. So like, there's definitely lots of opportunity for me to feel, a lot of fear right now, but they've been right there the whole time. I need something and it shows up. And that's what they're saying. They're there for us, right? When we need them, they're going to be there. So, all right, saying wonderful message. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do. And you're saying, let's see, would you transcribe the prayer in notes and I'll share with the others not on Facebook? Oh my gosh. Yes. Thank you. I absolutely will. And I will, let me say it again to you. Say it again. Should we do it again right now? Let me say it one more time so we all have it. It's short, but I feel like it's a really powerful prayer. I'll say it once more, and then I will post it in the comments for you guys in the chat. It says, so I'll start now. We rise, we do calm the seas. They rise within our own hearts. We muster the change within ourselves and move this light within us. So I just feel that as I say that, I feel emotion coming up. I feel the power of that prayer. So I hope you guys do too. Thank you so much, you guys. I am so grateful that you have created this safe space for me to share these messages. Some of them are hard. This was a hard one, but I also felt like it was of service. I know that there have been some of you that have been really worried about this. And I think that the overall message about La Palma is that maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. That the angels say that it's the earth's call about where this energy comes up. There is energy there that has to be released. It may come up there, it might not. They're saying that, but don't focus on that. They're saying focus on here, focus on your healing, and that we can use this prayer to try to help with that healing. So thank you guys so much. I'm sending you guys lots of love, hoping you have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to enjoy spending some time with my family. I'm staying with family right now. And it looks like I could do a lot of reading, huh? I got a lot of books here. All right. Talk to you soon. Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye.